All right. First and foremost, give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakodash, the honors of the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and who is worthy to be counted for double honors. Peace and salutations to you brothers out there pushing this truth wholeheartedly and sincerely and full of the gospel. It's the brother Kabari from the Indiana camp coming back at you again with another sit down. All right. It's going to be another etymology, another installment of the series, etymology and of words. And today we have the word gradualism. All right, so we're gonna get into it, dissect it, and just go into the word. All right, so the word gradualism, it says, is a gradual method of action. It says the abolishment literature as a disparaging term. It says opposite of immediatism. All right, which they have the word immediatism means it says advocate or immediate action. So gradualism is a complete opposite of that. Gradualism is something that Esau uses heavily. All right, he's been using it for years, where he won't implement something right away, or he won't implement something drastically. He would gradually or gradualism it in, because there's certain benefits which we're gonna get into. That we're gonna get into some of those benefits that gradualism gives. One of them is being that what the people are more willing to be accepting of it. You see, and Esau, he studies these things too. The things that he understands that what if he was to immediately put this into law, and people were just people were to hear about it right away, like just change, people will be more liable to buck up against it. You see, but he uses what gradualism to slowly form the people into what he wants them to think and what he wants them. I mean, look now, man, where literally back in the 80s and the 70s, fucking homosexuality was counted as a mental disability. It wasn't as popular as it is now. But what through gradualism, you see that what is running rampant. You have people who wear that who wear it who wear it on their arm like it's a badge of honor. Matter of fact, we're actually moving towards a system where if you're not, if you're really not part of that, if you're not part of that, individuals, you're looked at as weird, or you're looked at as crazy. Matter of fact, I remember I heard I heard one of them say, they saying who is still straight in I think it was in 2022 or 2023 or whatever. He said who basically saying, get with the new thing, ain't nobody straight no more. Everybody out here doing something, whether you bisexual or this or that, basically saying being, just liking the just being a heterosexual is basically born, or is out. They're trying to do away with it. You see, and this is all thanks to gradualism, Slakia. Slakia about that. I had to drink some water. Throat was dry. But anyways, let's get this word gradual. The word gradual says having stepped or rigs. It says a step climbed. This is a step towards something. See, it says a degree of something risking by stages, meaning arrangement by degrees, which the word degree also means to take a step down. You see, it says that is taking place of degrees. So I asked ChatGPT. I said the benefits of gradualism, and this is what it had to say. It says gradualism is an idea that change happens slowly and steadily over time, rather than in sudden or drastic shifts. It says this concept is used in many areas such as evolution, politics, business, and personal development. Here are some key benefits of gradualism. And this is the reason why Esau uses gradualism, but in a minute, matter of fact, and on top of that, he's using gradualism to basically what implement the C hip. You see, he's using gradualism to implement that C hip. He's getting people used to it, subliminally, unconsciously. I'm gonna show you how. Back back when credit cards was not really common. What were people using? People were using checks and people were using paper money. But now a thing called the credit card came out, where people only had to worry about what all their money being on a piece of plastic. You see, and then from the development of the credit card came the debit card. Now the debit card, is where people has their actual physical money go to. You see, and people weren't getting paper checks no more, and they had this thing called direct deposit. You see, where you can actually get your money put into your bank automatically. You see, and then it's automatically going to be loaded up on your card. All right. Now that card, when I was growing up, they had it where you can swipe your card, or you can swipe it because it has a little black bar at the bottom of it or whatever. But now they implemented, I think, when I became an early a young adult, like 2019 or whatever, they had it where you can insert the card with this chip. You see, now the cards have a thing called a chip in it, you know, and at the register, people say insert your chip, or swipe your chip. Now you don't even need to swipe your card no more. Now you can insert it into the machine. It reads the chip and then you pull it out. Sometimes you don't even have to put in your PIN number. It just reads the chip because every single chip is encoded. Now they have it where the credit card is actually being obsolete. You don't need the credit card. Now you're able to pay your bills or pay whatever you need to pay with your phones. Now they have a thing called Apple Pay. They have Cash App. They have Google Pay. They have Tap to Pay. Where you don't even have to insert anything. All you have to do is just tap it on the register or whatever, and then it takes the money from that. You see, this is all what you call gradualism. You see, people are getting used to just tapping something and walking away. So what when the implication of the C hip, which is going to be put in your hand, which is the mark of the beast, as it says in Revelations, when that gets implemented, people are not. It's not going to look at something that's just drastic or severe because they're already used to it. They're gonna be using terms that people are already familiar with. Tap to pay, insert the chip. Yes, people are already used to these terms already. So it's not going to be a drastic change for a lot of people. They're already used to it. This is what we call gradualism, and this is what he's using. This so-called the so-called white man Esau Edom is what he's using to get people comfortable with his so-called New World Order. You see, he's growing people. He's pushing people towards the way he wants them to do through with gradualism. You see, let's read. Let's look at some of these benefits. It says low risk of failure. See, because once you let me just read it. It says sudden massive changes can overwhelm system or people, leading to mistakes or collapse. Gradual changes gives time to identify problems early, fix them before they grow. See, so what he won't, and best believe before if he's trying to change something, best believe he's already done the research. He already knows the end outcome of it. You see, he already knows how the people are going to react. He knows some people are going to buck up against it. But does he care? No, because he has the power to really and that's what the chip is all about, is to have complete and utter control, to have complete and utter power, because he has the power to really shut the naysayers up. Oh, you don't believe? Okay, well, guess what? Your chip is off now. Now you have no choice but to believe now. You see, it's complete and utter control over everybody is what he wants. So the low risk idea is, that's that is It's a good concept, but at the end of the day, this man's already did the research. He already knows how the end outcome is going to be. You see, if he wants to implement something right away, he knows the people. He knows how. He knows the outcome of it. He knows what people are going to buck up and say and do this and do that. Does he care? No. All right. Benefit number 2, it says easy adaptation. It says humans and systems naturally resist sudden changes. Moving step by step allows people to adjust emotionally and mentally, reducing stress and backlash, which, he can care less about your stress, you know. But one thing he does, watch out for is the sudden rises of people's emotions. He understands people is going to riot and people is going to feel certain ways about certain things, certain laws being passed. Why do you think he passes major bills, or he passes the most important laws when doing what, the Super Bowl or some type of big event? You see, I remember we back in the couple videos ago, we looked at the word amusement, and the word amusement is to divert one's attention. You see, because if your attention is not towards this, it's towards something else. So he can be passing all these laws and legislations and bills while your attention is being diverted. And then when you go back and say, "Oh, he can't do this. This isn't in the law." Oh, it is in the law. It got passed on this. Damn, what was I doing? Oh, I was at the Super Bowl party, or I was watching the Grammys or the Emmys. You see, this all has something to do with gradualism. He's implementing certain laws. The scripture says, "What? Woe unto you who make unrighteous decrees." And he does it slightly, because what, he's also ultimately he's the devil. He's slick. He's conniving. The scripture says, "What? He's more subtle than any beast of the field." Man, he's that serpent coming back. He's slick. He's sly. He does things unfairly, underhandedly. You see, these are all attributes of a slick, sly individual. A snake. Um, Stability and predictability. It says gradual changes maintains social, economics, and biological stability to avoid chaos that comes with rapid transformation. Like I said, man, and this is the reason why. And then another thing he does is he has which is called cause and effects. He'll set out something to go do something, so he can pass a certain laws to that he wanted to pass anyways. Like one thing is what, trying to take the guns away from people. You know, Here it is in the Constitution. It says we have the right to bear arms. Well, I'm gonna say they, because they have the right to bear arms. But what, you have Esau, he might pass certain laws. He might call certain things like school shootings, mass shootings, and he's gonna ban certain guns. Oh, well, now you can't have this type of gun. You can't have that type of gun. You know, and that's even a form of gradualism, because he ultimately wants to take the gun away indefinitely. But what, he understands that what, that's going to be too drastic for the people. So what, he's going to start by little, with no assault rifles, with no AR-15s, and no this and no that. Where you're only left with a couple options, and then he's going to start gunning for those options. This is all techniques, and these are all skills of gradualism. You see, um, benefit number 4, it says strong long-term results. It says small continuous improvements composed over time often leads to strong lasting progress at a single dramatic effort. And he understands, that's another thing. Gradualism saves money, builds a reliable financing foundation compared to a risky big investment. Yeah, you know so what, if you do something gradually, you can see it grow, and you can see it gain momentum. And once it starts gaining momentum, it's really hard for it to stop. Versus if you just change something right away, it doesn't have the momentum built up, and it might fall, it might collapse. You see, um, we're gonna read the last 3. I'm not gonna go into this. I'm gonna just read the last, because I don't want this video to be too long. Um, verse 5. Verse 5. Benefit 5, it says better decision making. Benefit 6, it says reduce conflict. And benefit 7, it says natural alignment with growth. And these are all benefits to gradualism. You see, and best believe Esau Edom, the so-called white man, he knows about all of these, and he sees the benefits. That's why he does the things that he does. But it's gonna come to a time. In fact, I'm gonna grab that. He's gonna say to hell with gradualism. He's gonna say, listen, I'm not. Hey, I'm not gonna keep. Let me just grab it right quick because I keep quoting it. Revelations 12:12, it says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the habitations of the earth and the seas, for the devil is come down upon you, having great wrath, because he knoweth he has but a short time. See? So what Esau knows, his time is coming at an end. So guess what? He's going to come with that great wrath. All right? He's going to come with those draconian laws. He's going to come and start really showing who his agenda. He's going to start really trying to push his agenda. You see, he's not going to be, no sweet crowd. He's not always going to be crouching down and try to come humbly. Eventually he's going to, hey, listen, it's either get down or lay down. All right. And that's what type of world are we coming into. That's what type of world we're gearing ourselves to be in. All right. So that's the word gradualism. Like I said, man, that word, he's gradually implementing the mark of the beast, as we says in the book of Revelations. It's the mark of the beast, which is the sea hip. He's gradually introducing that to the world, which is already here. There's places, there's lands that already has it. So technically it's already here. We're just waiting for it to be pushed on a mass scale worldwide. Like the topic of the video, I said gradually. He's gradually doing it. But Lord willing, if this video is edifying to you brothers out there. So next time, keep pushing, stay strong. Until next time, shalom.